Hey, everybody, it's Ron and Hope Unfiltered, real, raw, and relevant. And the same thing just about every time we start.
Do we sell these?
Ron's either chomping on a lifesaver or a cough drop, or he's drinking his water.
Do we sell these?
No, we don't.
We need to sell that.
They're
That's really cool. Just me and you?
Mm-hmm. Exclusive. Ron
and
and
make
Hope
them
Unfiltered.
exclusive to everybody.
Real, raw, relevant. Do y'all want these? If
cool
you want
mug.
them, let us know, and we can put them up on our store.
I bet you we could put it in everybody's hands for $400.
Oh, my God.
Or maybe
$400 a mug.
Or maybe $500. Give you a whole set of them.
No.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How
Tell
you
the people
doing?
how you're really doing.
I'm doing good. Ronald.
Tell people. We
You
promise
being
to
a
be
meanie.
real, raw.
You being a meanie. They know I had surgery. I'm doing better from my surgery, but I am on the back end of my hormones. I'm supposed to get my hormone pellets tomorrow. I get them every 3 months. And like the last 2 weeks before it's time, you really feel it. Ron. I am not mean. I am not witchy. I'm not weepy. I'm none of those things. I get quiet. I get very,
You had a
very
hysterectomy
quiet.
very early in your 30s after a third child because you had to. There were a lot of complications you were having. And then for a long time, you didn't do any hormones because I won't call any
wasn't even
doctor's
mentioned.
name. But after they removed your machinery, and we were still young, very young.
Well, they didn't think it would affect me that early, but it did.
And nobody told you, that everything that keeps your hormonal balance, by the way, we're taking it out and putting it on this, operating table over here. And so, everything, I think the thing about the podcast that's refreshing me and you is because so much of our life is spiritual. That's what we've committed our life to. Your spiritual development, your spiritual growth, your walk with God, experiences with God. That we live for that. But we come on.
Is your belly showing right there?
Oh, I got an undershirt.
Oh, good. Okay.
And
I just wondered if you were showing everybody your belly.
I don't want to say I ripped.
No, I
I
don't
ripped. I
really.
was I shredded.
Shredded. Mm-hmm. That's it.
I wished. What was I even talking about?
You said we given ourselves to spiritual development.
That the podcast is that one place where I think we come here and everything ain't spiritual.
Yeah.
You've got an emotional person, you've got a mental person, you got a physical body, and we talk about those sides. Everything ain't a demon.
Right.
And the fact is, when you hit your extraordinary low, one of the things we did as well as get ministry is you went and got everything checked. And I remember being with you in one of them. I don't know if I was with you in all of them, but I went with you in one of them.
The first one you went to me.
And I remember the doctor came out and you get all your blood levels checked. And the Bible even tells us that everything's in the blood.
Life is in the blood.
And so I remember he came out and looked at your first number. There's like 20 or 30 different things he's looking at. The first one, he said, that's enough right there to put you in a full-blown depression. Well, most of the time in church, if somebody's depressed, what are we going to do? Put on the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But I've always said, if you buke a devil, and it don't buke, it wasn't a devil.
Right.
Because he has to go. He can't stand up against the authority of the name of Jesus. He has to go. So if that's not it, then you got to look to another part of your person. And the fact is, your hormones were
That's right.
woefully
We are natural human
off.
People.
And he said, he looked at that and said, I don't know how you held it together as long as you did. He just said it was just so messed up. So we had this operation done on you very early in age with no replacement whatsoever, but taking out the machinery that has to do it all
I've been doing
that.
hormone replacement for 16 years now.
Yeah.
Since I was 40 years old.
Yeah.
And it makes such a, that's not what we're talking about today.
Yeah, well, a little bit it is. It's the pellets, though, and the pellets are.
Yeah, I take pellets, and they have
They spike.
slow, they release, they melt subcutaneously under your skin. So they put them in and they just slowly start dissolving. But once they're gone, they're gone. And life, depending on your schedule, how rigorous it is, your stress level, you metabolize
determines
them
how fast you
sometimes.
metabolize them. Yeah.
And I've been through a pretty tough surgery, been traveling a lot. And so I think they left me quicker this time. And I have been like not even motivated. Like I just want to stay home. The last 2 weeks, I just want to stay in pajamas, want to go to bed earlier. All the things just kind of low. And so I get my hormones tomorrow, y'all.
I call
Ron will be a happy man.
Yes. I call it she gets quiet and quick. Quiet and quick.
No, I get quiet and then he's like, what's wrong with you? Okay, the dude knows I don't know
that I've ever asked you what's wrong with you the way you just
yesterday.
asked it.
We were going down the hallway.
What's wrong with you? I don't do like that.
No, you said, what's wrong with you, Ho?
Yeah, and that's more like what I do.
And I looked at him, I was like, we've talked about this today. I told you.
See?
That's what I did. Yes. Because he should have known. How did you forget? Men. In 3 hours.
We should know.
How'd you forget? You know I have an appointment.
We should know.
Oh,
God. They don't have to say anything. We should know.
The Bible says you should.
Yeah, we should know.
The Bible says you should.
It should just be in our spirit.
If you're a man of God,
what they're going through, what they need.
Mm-hmm.
And we just should know.
Live with her.
So you need to know that.
According to knowledge.
Men, one thing you need to learn about marriage is that we will always be working on us. Okay?
I hope you are.
You need to always know that we will always be working on me to get this thing right. And
next week we should be in a better place.
I should have just picked up on it, but
next week we should be in a better place.
So what does it feel like? Okay, let me tell you what. Okay, you're on the backside. They're gone. You're on the depletion. What does that feel like?
It feels
like everything aggravates you.
No, it's not aggravate for me. Everybody's different, but for me, you remember this, Ron. Even when I had all my equipment and I had cycles, I was never mean. I was not moody. I was not weepy during cycle time. I just wasn't. I would hurt.
You wept a lot.
I did not. It hurt and I was uncomfortable, but I was never emotional. So now I'm not emotional. I'm not moody or weepy. I'm quiet. I get very quiet.
Baby, I remember many times catching you in the kitchen in the middle of the night crying, eating Little Debbie cakes.
Jesus.
So anyway, this is what we want to talk about. Marriage as ministry. Marriage as ministry. So if you're on here and you're saying like, I'm going to check out. No. Because we believe God will bring a significant other into everybody's life. We believe for that. We believe we are an answer to prayer for somebody else. You're an answer. Somebody, they're praying for who you are and what you have. And so a lot of these things, to be honest with you, learning these things after marriage is really behind the 8 ball. You need to have some of these things in your toolbox before you ever come together.
Just the title marriage as ministry is so significant because most people go into marriage looking for somebody else to meet their needs.
Forgive the term though. When somebody looks on YouTube, marriage as ministry, that's not a sexy clickbait title. No. They're like, ugh, going to the next one. But the ones where you go, ugh, are probably the ones that would help you. Because I'm going to tell you, when I just listen to secular people, especially just like TikTok influencers and things like that, when I hear them talk about relationships, I'm like, that is a train wreck waiting to happen. The wisdom they have concerning relationships, because it's a million miles away. What I mean is marriage is ministry. The Bible says that, for an elder or overseer, depending on which translation you read, it said that one of the qualifications is he must rule his own house well. If God ever had what I felt like was maybe I'm going to have a talk with him because maybe that was a little bit of an unfair command, I always felt like that was one of them, because I don't know that managing ministry is nearly as tough as managing my family.
I agree. 100%.
So to rule your own house well is almost like God's litmus test.
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you, if you can do that,
Whew.
you can manage about anything. But before I go there, because I want to break that down a little bit. I want to unpack
a big
that.
one.
I want to unpack that. But we've got a sponsor, so hang on, because I want everybody to hear
what is it, Ron?
It's a new one, a sponsor.
A sponsor?
Yeah, we got a new one.
Okay.
Talk about it. She does this better than
Sponsor.
me. She does this better than me, because this is the part where we have to read it off the teleprompter and make sure we get all the information right. And I don't do it well.
One more time.
So I'm on sponsor.
Well, our sponsor today is Fast Growing Trees. Did you know that Fast Growing Trees is the biggest online nursery in the U.S. with thousands of different plants and over 2 million happy, that's a lot of people, 2 million happy customers. They have all the plants your yard needs, like fruit trees and privacy trees, flowering trees, shrubs, and so much more.
We just put up some privacy trees. Yeah.
That's right. Whatever plants you're interested in, Fast Growing Trees has you covered. Find the perfect fit for your climate and space. Fast Growing Trees makes it easy to get your dream yard. Order online and get your plants delivered directly to your door in just a few days without ever leaving your home. Their Alive and Thrive guarantee ensures your plants arrive happy and healthy. Plus, get support from trained plant experts on call to help you plan your landscape, choose the right plants, and learn how to care for them. Listen, I need that because I am no green thumb, right? Have I ever kept plants a long time?
Not you. I'm good, but you're not so much you.
No. But we did order from Fast Growing Trees, and believe it or not, for 2 years, my plant is still alive.
Which is a miracle.
It is a miracle. So grateful. So whether you have a big yard, small yard, or no yard, we've got over 6,000 plants to fit any space, from indoor plants, fruit trees, to full-size privacy trees, and more. You can talk to a plant expert about your soil type, landscape design, how to take care of your plants, and everything you need. No green thumb is required. This spring, they have the best deals for your yard, up to half off on select plants and other deals. And listeners to our show gets 15% off your first purchase when using the code Ron and Hope.
Thank you, guys.
At checkout. That's an additional 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com using the code Ron and Hope. Fastgrowingtrees.com. Ron and Hope. Now's the perfect time to plant. Use Ron and Hope to save today. Offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply.
We're grateful for our sponsors.
Yes. Sponsors.
Talked about ruling his own house well. I think, not looking for any support here, so don't. I think it's highly questionable. Though I gave a valiant effort, I think it's highly questionable whether I rule my own house well. I've often thought about if somebody put me in a parenting panel and asked me a question, I'd probably say, you know what, I don't know that I'm qualified to answer that. That has not been easy. That has not been easy to navigate. Let me bring people into our life. And we're going to talk about the practical things where marriage is ministry, but let them see it from our vantage point. By the time our kids got where they cared about anything, I'm not talking about like 3 running around the house, or in diapers, but where people's opinions matter, friends matter, that age, end of elementary, junior high-ish. We had come out of gutter living, and things had actually turned around, and God had opened up a lot of opportunities for us, and our life got better, and it got better quick. It drug out where we really struggled a long time, but when it turned on a dime. So most of the time, our kids, junior high up through high school, they lived in a good situation. I wouldn't say privilege, but We was able to put them.
They had cars.
They had lunch money. They had nice neighborhoods. We lived in safe places.
Yes.
Yeah, we went on vacations. The things that every family would want to grow up and have the resources to enjoy. We were fortunate. God blessed us with that. But there were things about being my kid that they just hated. We had a huge church in a smaller town, and I know people are like, what? But I mean, death threats and
kidnapping,
bomb threats. My daughter got kidnapped one time, and I mean, that girl got put in jail in Florida. So I mean, it was just ridiculous. And so if they would walk to the teen center, which was across the campus, we had 7 buildings across our campus.
Security would follow them.
Security would follow. Man, they hated it. They just hated being followed around by security. They couldn't stand it. But there's no way I could risk that not happening. They walked in. If they got in trouble, there were eyes from church people on them all the time. Mm-hmm. So it was like they were being raised by a village. So if anybody did anything, I get a call from a church member.
And they hated that.
They hated that. They hated getting heckled in their school because we were a very Pentecostal church. We were a very expressive church, and people called me apostle. That's not common among churchendom, but in that local area, they didn't see me as a pastor. They saw me as I brought something really apostolic to the region, something pioneering. And, so my oldest would go to high school, and they call him Apostle Chase, and he hated that stuff. And the reverberations that it had through our family were not easy to navigate. When it came to me and you, marriage is ministry, we had to make sure that the anointing and the gifts that we had to be on a stage did not destroy the couple who fell in love on a college campus. And I don't know that was always easy.
I don't know that it was either. And I don't know that we
did it right.
I don't think we did it well. I just don't, because Ron, number one, we didn't have any voices in our life. We didn't have wisdom in our ear. We didn't have, we just had, my parents' marriage, your parents' marriage.
Which were simplistic.
Very simple.
Very simplistic.
We did life on
our life
a way
was not
bigger
simple.
Scale than our parents did.
Our life was not simple.
We didn't know what we were doing. It was like we were caught up in that snowball that was just going down the hill, getting bigger and bigger, and our arms were sticking out and our legs were sticking out. And I agree. We've done so many things right, but we've done so many things wrong as well. But
great intentions.
Since we have gone through our healing, unfortunately, we had to lose a lot to get a lot. Mm-hmm. We've got a lot now, but we've paid for a lot of our mistakes publicly. Most people listening knows our story.
Price. Yeah, we paid a high price.
Our kids have paid for our mistakes.
They paid a high price.
But we have learned through healing how to have a great marriage. And I think we do intentionally keep it in the forefront of our mind that the other person is more important. Just in general. When I say
marriage is ministry, I said the other night, you let me teach one of the Healing the Heart classes that we have for our staff. We did that for our staff. And I told them, I said, whenever you go into a relationship saying, I'm going to get married because I need
anything.
Just fill in the blank. You have already set a trajectory for absolute death of the relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because anything that is marriage, you have to go into it saying, I want to give everything.
Because that's what love is. Love gives.
Love gives.
Love doesn't take.
I've heard people say, I need to get me a husband who's got a figure, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right.
I give that thing 12 months before it's come off the rails. And the thing is, if you go into it because, I got these 2 kids I need taken care of, or you're a man, I need a woman to give me I need, whenever you go in and putting your need out front, that is the death of a relationship.
It's not even just marriage, it's in general.
Yeah,
Friendship,
no relationship can
anything.
survive
No.
when one person's giving and the other person's taking.
No.
I tell people it's like
especially in marriage when both of them are trying to take.
I tell
You're
people it's like an
killing each
ATM
other.
machine. Let's just simple mathematics. If you keep making withdrawals and you never make deposits, you go back when it says account empty, and you look at so many relationships and especially marriages, and the account is empty.
Yeah.
Because everybody's making withdrawals, nobody's
trying to
making
get something
deposits.
from
Yes.
it. I need you to meet my needs. I need you to be nice to me. I need you to give me sex. I need you to have this house clean. I need you to be nice and always, make me feel better. And
So we went to a church a while back in Arizona. I won't say the exact church. There's lots of churches in Arizona. And they asked us to do a marriage thing. And we know this couple, we're friends with them. And I'd say they're good friends of ours. And I got to talking about the man being the most crucified one in the house, talking about how did Jesus become the head? Because he became obedient unto death, therefore God highly exalted him. Well, how do you become the man, the priest of your house? You become obedient unto death, therefore your family will highly exalt you. They'll highly respect you.
right.
If you're the deadest one in the house, you're dead to everybody and everything because you serve it. And so I have taken that literally, and I try to become a servant in the house, and I tell people, I guess it's weird. I get great pleasure out of doing things for you. I like it. I get satisfaction out of it. It blesses me. But we went and sat down with that couple later who was raised in very patriarchal family. Patriarch were the man.
Yeah.
There's a world that everybody revolves around him and he sits on his throne. And they were quiet. And these are our good friends. And they looked at us, they said, you really challenged us today. They said, that is not the way any of our families operate, and that's not the way this house operates. And talk about how it shook them. When we get up in the morning, do we have it down pat? No, but we've come a long way in 30-something years. We probably get up with a mindset of, can I help you right out of getting out of bed? Do you need this? All right. I'm always scared of you falling. Why am I scared of you falling?
I don't know.
You've had 2 hip operations and all of our floors are slick. I don't know. But, do you need help getting out of this? Do you need help getting in the shower? Some of it just because I want to see you naked. But some of it is I just want to care.
Out.
Yeah. I just want to be around whenever you're naked.
The truth comes out.
You walk out, have you had your coffee yet? No, I got your coffee. We start our day that way.
But that's intentional. There is not some fairy out of the sky that comes.
You
and
decide to do that.
Fairy dust on you and makes you want.
You decide to do that.
To just get up and serve your spouse. No, because our human nature is selfish. Our human nature is.
But the nature of God is not.
In the back of your head, it's like, but if I start this, I'm going to be the only one giving. But what if you both start it?
Serving opens the heart of the other. It is almost impossible to be mad at or offended at someone who serves you. You gotta try hard.
Yeah.
To be angry at somebody who serves you. So what do you want, Ron? I'll make the coffee. Just sit right there. I'm gonna bring it to you. You've already opened up my heart. So I'm looking at you. Are you cold? You want me to get you Snuggie? And it just begins.
Your Snuggie. Yeah. I love my Snuggie.
It just begins. I'll go cut on the fire. We got a little, gas fireplace. I'll go cut on the fire. And, the things that sounds so simple, but when it's the first language you speak, you ain't even wiped the cracklings out of your eyes yet. Can I do this for you? Baby, you got me. I mean, I'm yours the whole rest of
And
the day.
when you both are doing it,
It's amazing.
nobody ever gets in the negative. Nobody ever has a deficit because you're both doing it.
What is a woman's posture if she feels like sex is ministry? Well, I'm going to see what you got to say now.
What is my posture?
What do you think toward that?
I agree with that sometimes because, number one, a man's sex drive normally is way out ahead of the woman's. So I have to know.
We are that rare difference, but yeah, you're right
God.
most of the time.
Anyway, knowing that.
I mean, it's a big question.
Does a woman want to have sex every single time?
Because we hear
the man
people come
does?
talk to us and the woman resents it.
Right.
I don't ever remember, I'm gonna toot your horn. I don't ever remember you being like that. I think you would, I hate to say, I don't want to use the word you used, mercy. Remember you used to call it a mercy?
Mercy screw.
Yeah, but you said it. It's out there now. Raw, real, relevant.
But here's the thing. We talked about the mercy screw because I know that's crude to some of y'all.
I
know.
We got a lot of people going to write us and say,
anyway,
I'm so disappointed that you used that word on the podcast.
In our talks, that was the term we came up with.
That was the way we took a tense situation and made us laugh. Yes.
So because I had to explain to him, not every single time was, oh, I can't wait and I'm going to tear you apart and I can't wait to make love.
Because I felt rejection.
He would feel rejected if I said no. But then on the same hand, he was like, well, if you don't want to, I don't want to do it if you don't want to do it. And I said, well, sometimes, Ron, for me, I'm doing it because I love you. And I know that this is a priority for you right now.
I'm not aroused at this moment, but I do love you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm doing this because I know it's something that you desire. And you know what? That's what ministry is sometimes.
And I had to get over the fact that you could ever be around me and not be aroused. That was a big hurdle for me because I just couldn't understand it. With my drip and my swag and everything that I had around you.
Y'all pray for me.
I just I couldn't understand it.
Y'all pray.
So she had to try to explain it to me.
I did try to explain it to him.
How can you be in the room
And you know what
with
he
me?
said? He was like, mercy screw? He was like, okay.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Whatever agreement we need to come to.
We need to get here.
Whatever agreement we need.
Is what I'll
That's
do.
what we need to call this segment because YouTube would go crazy if we called. Yeah, that's what we called that.
Okay. Name.
But anyway,
name.
Marriage being ministry, like even because people gonna end up there. So I just went straight there. There are times where even with your, the Bible, the Bible has these two verses that nobody reads. It says that the woman does not have authority over her body, but the man.
That can be used in abuse
The man
too.
does not have the authority over her body, but the woman. I think that's what that mercy thing means. In other words, I don't have the right to only be affectionate with you only totally and completely when it is perfect with me. That's what I'm thinking it's saying, that I understand that there are times where you may need affection where I don't feel especially affectionate, or you may know that I need it and you ain't really, you busy, your mind's a million other places, but you don't feel especially affectionate, but you understand that because of what I'm going through at that moment. I think you're very attentive to that. You know when I'm up against something, you know when I'm stressed, you know when my motor is high, you know what to do, you know to put it down, you know what to say, you know how to touch, you know exactly what to do. And a lot of those things come with time, but here's the thing. If we'd have had somebody when we were 26, 27 telling us to look for this, we could have functioned in this much, much sooner.
Right.
And so that's what's one of the things I like for the podcast to do. They hear us making fun and talking about mercy screws and this and that and other. But the fact is, marriage being all relationships, but marriage above all, going into it understanding you get the best out of somebody when you give the most to them.
It's true. It's true.
I get the best version of Hope when Hope is fully aware that there is nothing I won't do for her. And when you know that, and when I'm demonstrating it, the best version of you lives in my house. Vice versa. I know, like I told you, I just went out. Her love language is gifts, and I mean, like you can just about bring her some M&Ms. I mean,
socks.
She likes nice things, of course, but she can be a very cheap date too. I mean, just any. I think it was the fact that I was thinking about it.
Yes.
It ain't the amount of money spent. And I knew you'd having a rough day the other day, and I actually said, she'll laugh at this. This will be funny, a Snuggie. And
I ripped that thing open.
You ripped it open right there and put it around you.
Oh, it's
right
awesome.
At that moment. And but like I went 2.5 weeks without one day. I felt like without 1 minute off, but without one day. And I looked at you one day. I said, I'm tired. And you said, that's good. I've already got us 2 days in Lake Tahoe. I didn't have to say anything. What did you do? I got to get him out of here. That meant a lot to me. And the Bible says for the man to dwell with her with knowledge, but you know me.
That's right.
Just get him away from this atmosphere just a little bit. He snaps right back.
I mean, even just simple things. It's not about trips and sex.
It's about knowing what I needed.
The other day, I was having an awful day. And you were fixing to go pick something up at a dealership. And you were like, well, why don't you just ride with me? And then we'll go get some lunch. And I was like, Ron, can I just stay here? And you go do that. And then we'll meet up, blah, 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 whatever. And I really want to just go crawl in the bed. And I wasn't even ready yet. Didn't have my makeup on, didn't have anything. I knew I was going to have to get up and get ready. And you went, you just kind of looked down and you were like, okay. And what did I do?
I hadn't seen you none. We hadn't been together, and I wanted to be with you.
I went and got my makeup
give me 20
on.
minutes.
I said, give me 20 minutes. I'll ride with you. Did I want to do that? Absolutely not. I didn't. I'm being very honest. But I knew.
But didn't you have the time of your life?
I knew that he really just wanted to be with me.
It had nothing to do with.
And you know what I did? I denied what I wanted. And we do that back and forth and back and forth.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
Can I be honest with you? I somewhat knew that was happening. Okay. We got back. I went in there and made your bed up, pulled the side down. I knew you wanted to go take a nap. Okay. I went in there. You laid down. I was putting my hands through your hair. I kissed you on the forehead and I prayed for you.
You did.
I pulled the covers over you and I left the room. And you told me you went to like REM,
like
REM sleep. Yeah, you went to sleep. And it's back and forth all day.
Yeah.
And it ain't keeping score.
No.
It's not keeping score. It's being, I think what you said, being mindful.
It's involved too.
Yeah.
It's sowing and reaping. It's
Yeah.
a law. You're going to get what you give. Bottom line. If your heart posture is to serve, you're going to get served.
It's you're creating a good cycle.
You are.
There's terrible cycles. This is a good. I knew you went with me and you weren't crazy about going, but I hadn't seen you much, and it was my first day off, and so we come back this way, and I knew you wanted to take a nap, and then I knew there's a certain place you wanted. No, you didn't want to go eat. I wanted to, but you just kind of wanted to stay in pajamas. I'm like, just order something. It's give and take all day long, and we get to the end of the day, and we got it right.
Yeah, and nobody's burned out.
We got it right. Nobody's mad. Nobody feels deficient. Nobody feels like they've been robbed, cheated, done wrong, offended, or nothing like that. Just being mindful of each other. You don't have to be 55 to get this.
Right.
You don't have to be 55. We have people come up and say, now, what are your responsibilities? And what
I know. What's your role? What's your responsibility?
Yeah, and you know what? They really want to know.
Yard or
they want to know.
We're like, do what?
We got to wrap it up,
Don't go
baby.
into your relationships trying to take.
Nope.
Go into it trying to give. Yep. Everybody, thanks for being here. If this has been good, why don't you subscribe? Number one, just hit that subscribe button. That helps us. And then share this. Take this and share it to your Facebook page. Share it to your Instagram. Send it to some buddies. If you know this helped you, like and share and subscribe.
Getting hormones tomorrow.
Getting hormones.
Yeah.
It's been Ron and Hope, unfiltered, real, raw, relevant.
See you soon.